welcome all of you to this site visit. My name is Keba Omar Jajisi, here representing the Ministry of Works, Transport and Infrastructure. We welcome you, Honorable Minister, to our project site. That is the mausoleum built in respect of an elderly statesman, that is the former President of the Republic of the Gambia, Sir Dawda Kairaba Jawara. Here we have our contracting team, that is GAP consultants, which won the design and build contract for this particular project. And they also subcontracted it to Bajam, that is Mary. We have her representative here, which is Mary. We have Sirifo, who is the site supervisor here. So as usual, what we do when you come to site first, we give prayers to the elderly statesman here. We can go to the burial place where he is buried, where he is laid. We offer prayers, our prayers there, then we go for our side visit. Then people can come very close to it to offer their prayers and see the grave. That's why we leave this place as open as it is. And we have a fountain also that is coming, that we will have around. It's going to be a very interesting, yeah. And the beauty, or what is much nice about this project, is it is 100% Gambian built, designed by Gambians, and supervision is done by the Gambians as well. That's the Ministry of Transport, Works and Infrastructure. So that's the geotechnic investigation was also done by a Gambian. Yeah, so it's 100% Gambian and all workers. That's the most interesting thing, doing a magnificent structure of this nature. Very good. Yeah.
Good afternoon, media crew, the Honorable Minister and the full team on the ground. My name is Mustafa Dabo, the project engineer from the Ministry of Transport, Works and Infrastructure. And I also want to welcome His Excellency, the Honorable Minister, who is here to pay his courtesy visit to the project, the Banjul Rehabilitation Project. The Banjul Rehabilitation Project comprises of some components, which is the road itself, and then the sewage and the drains.
Independent Drive was part of the project and is completed. Allen Street is part of the project, it has been completed. We are now on Albion Place. Those of you who know Banjul, the state this place was. And now, the reason why we are here, Albion Place also have a start of a main drain that is called a collector drain that takes all the water from Banjul into the bone polder. Now, you can see we have started covering the drain. It's covered, and we are also doing the paving already. So I would suggest that we walk a little bit down the road.
Yes.
So maybe while you are there, you can also talk to the residents, some people who are there who will tell you how the project, how this place was, and how it is now.
And how it has changed their lives.
We cannot clean our, beat our own drums,
Yes.
but we want you to hear from the residents the impact of this project on their livelihood. And if you had known Banjul in 2017 and you come here today, you will see a massive difference. I wish I live in Banjul. I live in Combo. But here they are telling me they don't have mosquitoes anymore.
Oh, wow.
Yes?
Honorable,
And-
to add to what he's saying, we are faced with few challenges. As you can see over there, this is high tension cable, electrical cable for NAWEC. And several attempts have been made to NAWEC to take off this, as it is a danger. And it has stopped us from doing any work on that side, which is also inclusive of what is supposed to be here.
Okay.
So these are key stakeholders to be part of the project, and it's something that we want you to also take note of as also a challenge on the part of the stations.
Yes.
So it's also one of our concerns that you should know about. So maybe we'll take a walk looking at the paved road, the drains, and then we go to the other side.
may paye bu Diouf dëkk 10 Albion Place kontaan nañ trop si liggéey bi ak ni liggéey bi demee Banjul ba pare team bi moom amuñ problème wax dëgg neex yàlla xataluñ kenn sonaluñ kenn waaw dañ la dee laaj sax naka nga bugg a comme ñu liggéeyee ko su ko fee ñu leen ma ne am ngeen ko defee nii ak nii ak nii su ko fee gars yi doxalee ko noonu wax dëgg neex yàlla koñ bi moom macha allah waaw utee naa sax yeneen koñ yi kontaan nañ ci trop waaw xanaa kañ di ñaanal rek réew mi yàlla yokk a jaama ji ak salaam bi ministre bi yàlla yombal ko en bi waaw ndik moom wax dëgg neex yàlla ma ko dee déglu programme bi moom dama ko dee follow wax dëgg neex yàlla jàmbaar la waaye na la yàlla jaafare jërë ngeen jëf.
So much. On behalf of the President, the government and people of the Gambia, we take this opportunity to thank the contractor and all the staff that are spiritedly engaged in this Banjul project to rehabilitate the roads, the drains and the sewage. What we have seen so far, we are extremely very happy with it. Work is progressing well, and that what we can now say is to encourage the consultant, the contractor and the staff of the ministry that are all working together here to work together as a team to expedite the work so that we can finish the ongoing rehabilitation of Banjul Road, sewage and drains on time. This is very impressive what we have seen. What we want to encourage now is to call on the City Council to work with the ministry and other stakeholders so that the roads that have already been done can match with the cleansing exercise that's supposed to be done regularly. And I know the City Council are doing a great work, but we encourage them to have a way of strengthening partnership with the Ministry of Transport, Works and Infrastructure so that we can make this city even much cleaner and nicer. Banjul being the capital city of the Gambia belongs to all of us, and we are all proud to see our city clean and nice like this. But we will be even more prouder if we can see it cleaner and nicer. And that is why we want to see a very strong collaboration between the City Council and the Ministry and other stakeholders to ensure that the progress that have already been registered in the ongoing works can be sustained. We have also recognized that there are a few other roads that are still also being upgraded. Also the sewage as well as the drains in those areas. The pressure is very high on the government from the people in those areas because already people have started seeing the benefit of a magnitude of the infrastructure of this type. And as a government, we want to be seen to be quickly responding to the needs of the people. And that is why we want to call on the contractor to expedite ongoing works in some of those areas that they have not started working. But by and large, we are extremely very happy. We are also being told that the technology is being improved, especially in the area where they used to pump the water from the drainage facilities into the canal, the process, sewage. And the machines, we are told, are already here. And we call on the contractor to see how those can be quickly fixed before the rains, so that Banjul will not experience the type of flood that we saw last year. But on behalf of the President, again, his government and the people of the Gambia, we thank all those that are involved in this project, that are doing everything possible to deliver this project and on time. Thank you.
My name is Usman Jabate. I'm the Managing Director. The purpose of the visit is for the Minister to gain first-hand knowledge about the situation in the ports, particularly the capacity constraints that we're experiencing. And you may be aware that there's some project proposals that have been launched in the local newspapers with a view to launching the port expansion project. So this visit will accord the Minister first-hand knowledge about what the project components are and the way forward to increase the capacity of the port so that we can provide a more efficient service, being an important gateway for the country's economy. So the whole purpose of the tour is to get the Minister to learn about the challenges we are facing and the expansion project going forward and the impact it would have on the cost of doing business in the Gambia.
What are these components?
Well, three of the urgent components are the extension of the jetty, this current wharf that we are standing. The total length is 300 meters right now. So we want to extend it further 345 meters. So the total length would be 645 meters in order to be able to handle 3 big ships at one time. The other urgent component is the port is surrounded by residential property and our expansion is constrained seawards because of the hydrodynamics within the area. So our only natural expansion is to acquire those properties, demolish the buildings and create new container terminal. And then the third and most important is the port digitalization, because we've reached volumes in our industry which calls for IT solutions in our business processes. So these are the 3 urgent components. But whilst we are doing the scoping, and in order to realize maximum value from these components, it was realized that there are ancillary activities that also needs to be roped into the project components. And these are basically the widening of the Bond Road, which is the main access that leads from the highway into the port of Banjul, and also to relocate the Banjul ferry terminal. Because the jetty, the way it is proposed to be aligned northwards, that's this direction towards Bara from its present location, is going to affect the ferry lane. So that means naturally the Banjul ferry terminal has to be relocated, either towards near the car power end or somewhere around Radio City. And another component is to do the river transport. There are plans to set up an inland port at Basse because of the economic activity around the area. And most of our traffic, about 16% of our volume, is transit cargo. And trucks are having to travel from third countries up to Banjul to pick up cargo and return. So the idea is to set up a logistics platform in Basse and do a dry port, where goods destined for third countries will be discharged in Banjul, transported upriver by river barges, and then the trucks will not have to travel all that distance to come to Banjul. They will just stop at Basse, pick their cargo, and then return to their countries. Because the way forward for Gambia also is to utilize river transport, not only for business, but for economic regeneration, because there are erstwhile very vibrant trading posts along the river, which also coupled with the tourism prospects. That's why it makes the river project very interesting for the Gambia. And also enhance our competitiveness as a country, because we're surrounded by big ports and big neighbors, and the only way we can enhance our degree of penetration is to utilize the river. It's more environmentally friendly, and it also has the impact of reducing a lot of load on the roads and also minimize these accidents that are happening on the roads. So in total, these are what the port is looking at immediately.
Thank you so much, everyone. I mean, as you can see today, we have concluded our first day of the tour. We've visited the mausoleum that is being built in honor of the former President of the Republic of the Gambia, our first President, His Excellency Sadauda Kairaba Jawara. That project is almost completed now. They are now doing the finishing touches. The museum will be, of course, open to the public in September as promised by the contractor. We look forward to that as a country. And also we're very grateful to the ministry support staff for the excellent work that they are doing at that site, and also the efforts by the contractor to deliver on time and on budget. Then we visited the various streets of Banjul. We have seen the remarkable progress of this Banjul road and drainage and sewage rehabilitation project. Remarkable project, I can say. It has changed the face of Banjul, and work is in progress. We've been informed that almost 90% of the project has been already completed, and the remaining 10, they are working very hard to deliver on time. Now, we have had some good discussions with the contractor and the site engineers about a number of issues that we have actually witnessed ourselves. This include the areas that are not paved, where people dump all kinds of dirt and rubbish. We also call on the city council, the Banjul City Council, to work with the government and the relevant ministries to start the cleansing process, so that the kind of infrastructure done in Banjul can match with the level of cleanliness of the city. We also encourage the people to embark on some repainting of their infrastructure, so that it can make Banjul a uniquely nice city. I mean, this is something that will make Banjul a unique, phenomenal nice city. And we have seen a lot of new construction work going on in Banjul. This tells a lot that the city is being revived now. People have shown renewed interest in their own city. Banjul is our only capital city that we have, and we will continue as a government to show interest in its continuous rehabilitation and infrastructure works. The President in particular is very keen on the efficiency of the ports, the port of Banjul. And we were able to visit a number of areas, the jetty and also the container terminal. Now we are at the inland container terminal here on Bond Road. We had a very good discussion with the MD, what they are doing about the expansion, so to reduce congestion, but also to make the port efficient. And this is something that we will encourage, the ongoing tender process that has kick-started, I think, a few months ago, to partner with a credible international company. We call on the MD and his staff and the critical stakeholders that are in this to fast-track this process, because we want to make sure that the port is efficient with the appropriate technology that they will use to ensure that we are able to compete and compete effectively with other ports in the sub-region. So we have also visited the ferry services, the landing sites in Banjul, and we have made some observations with the MD, and his team have promised to work on those urgently to make the place a conducive place for the traveling population. Also, we visited the shipyard, and we have seen the tremendous work that they are doing to upgrade the facility. This is a huge investment that the government cannot do it alone, and that is why we will encourage private sector participation to partner with the government. The market, we have a ready-made market for the shipyard already, and if we can have serious private sector participation in this to go into PPP or other models of cooperation and partnership that can upgrade the facilities, that will create a lot of opportunities for the country in terms of job creation, but also, wealth creation for even the shipyard and the port. So we also encourage the foreign fishing trawlers and those trawlers that are in the country to use the jetty dedicated for the maintenance and also the use of the facility. We want to encourage that close partnership between the ministries of fisheries and the Gambia shipyard to encourage those fishing trawlers to come to the right place to do the maintenance and other works necessary. I know that a few of the fishing trawlers have their own scattered facilities, but we want to encourage that they use the facility prescribed for this particular purpose. Ladies and gentlemen of the media, this is in summary what we have. Tomorrow we are going to inspect the ongoing road infrastructure works that are going on Battle Hardin and the 50-kilometer roads in the Greater Banjul area and other interests under the ministry. But before I hand you over to the MD, I want to take this opportunity to thank all of you for your patience and cooperation. Thank you.
His visit is a familiarization tour to gain first-hand knowledge about the challenges we're facing as an institution. That's both the ports, the ferries, the Banjul shipyard and the fisheries jetty, and also what are the projects lined up going forward to address those challenges. We are renewed in our commitment and the enthusiasm that the Honorable Minister's visit has accorded us. And it shows that together we can work as a team with renewed dedication and commitment to ensure that we transform our institutions as a vital sector in the national socio-economic development. Because whatever we do as public servants must impact positively on people's lives, and we're aware about our responsibility that as public servants we're open to scrutiny and we should deliver to the expectations of the people, particularly the ports and the ferry services, which has a direct impact on people's daily lives. We are also aware that the support we expect from the ministry in terms of the new pathway that government has set itself to encourage the port to pursue, we should be able to deliver that before the turn of the new year. As the Honorable Minister rightly said, we're in an international game. The port is not for Banjul. The port is an international port. It's a gateway. And if we are surrounded by neighbors who have stepped up their game, it just makes natural sense that we also transform our institutions by increasing the capacity and also reforming our systems in terms of the way we do our work so that we can enhance the competitive advantage that Banjul has in the past enjoyed. Because I can remember vividly in the early 90s, it used to be the shopping center for most West Africans. And this is the glory that we want to regain. Not that we cannot do it. We are endowed with the river, which is our natural endowment, to maximize our degree of penetration to go to third countries. Because most of the goods that come here find their way to third countries. So, Honorable Minister, we're more than encouraged with your visit, and it gives us renewed confidence and hope that with the collaboration we have with our ministry and the sectors in particular, we should be able to steer the affairs of the institutions for the improvement of the Gambia as a general, and also to impact positively, as I said, on the livelihood of people. Because if you do our work faster and more efficiently and safely, it brings the cost of goods down, and this would impact positively on people's lives. So that's generally our motivation. Thank you.